Look, I don't know about you, but I'm getting kind of tired of all those old guys and gals in the gym that talk about, yeah, you know, I used to deadlift 10,000 pounds and eat 4,000 calories an hour and so on and so forth. And not only that, I see way too many people getting injured through lifting in the gym or out of the gym due to poor technique in the gym. That's been putting these people out of commission almost for a lifetime, it seems. And I've, had my share of nags and setbacks, but I've been able to prevent injury that keeps me in the game longer, keeps me progressing year after year. And so in today's video, I want to share with you some of the ways you could do the same. Hey, what's going on YouTube? It's your boy John Mango, and I'm back again representing Beyond the Iron, where I drop weekly fitness content on this channel to help you get to those goals faster and more enjoyably. So if you're interested in doing so, then just subscribe to the damn channel. Okay, honestly though, at the end of the video, I'll share some recommendations as to equipment and routines and things you can do, actionable steps you can take to make sure that you're proactive about avoiding your injury and actually making more progress because of these things. So stay tuned for that. But real quick, let's go through 6 different things that you can do to be, again, proactive and avoid injury while simultaneously increasing your ability to develop and increase your strength and muscle mass. And basically just avoid injury in workouts in general. Whether you're looking to lose fat, build muscle, whatever the case is, you want to make sure you're staying safe in the gym. Now, the very first thing is going to be stretching. Oh, by the way, this isn't going to be any sexy stuff that you were hoping to hear of, any secrets or anything like that. It's going to be pretty mundane stuff, but stuff you need to hear and stuff you need to do. So the first one is stretching, and this is one of, if not the most important component of fitness, okay? Probably I'd rank cardio as number 1, then flexibility is number 2, and then strength is number 3, because actually there's a lot of strength in flexibility. But if you neglect stretching, which 99.999% of people, including those in the gym, do, then you can actually come to a point where you start to deteriorate your fitness over time. Even though you feel like you may be getting stronger and you may be getting bigger, or you may be losing fat, or you may be getting in better shape, you may actually be hurting yourself and creating a situation where injury is essentially inevitable. So because of that reason, you want to make sure you're stretching out. A lot of us are tight, and lifting weights does tend to cause more tightness. Stretching is the key to solving that. The second thing here is technique, okay? Technique in and out of the gym. Now typically, if you perform a lot of reps on big compounds in the gym, those things will translate to lower risk of injury outside of the gym. An example of this is like a deadlift. If you get the proper form of a deadlift down, then you understand in the context of any situation in life when you need to pick something heavy up off the ground, how to do that properly to minimize injury. Now the thing is in the gym, a lot of people create the bad habit of lifting with improper technique. Now here's how you know that your technique isn't as good as it can and should be. One is, are you able to control the eccentric, meaning the lowering portion of the rep? If you can't control that for at least 2 seconds, the weight's too heavy. Which leads me to my next point: do you need a spotter? If you need a spotter to lift the weight, then I can guarantee you you're moving in the path of inevitable injury. Next, are you doing controlled movement at all? A lot of people lift weights very fast. It's extremely dumb, and it makes no sense, because you're going to tighten the muscle and you're going to immediately increase your risk of injury right then and there. So there's really no need to do fast exercises. It should be a slow, controlled tempo. Also, you should be taking the exercise through its entire range of motion. The muscle should go from all the way to its fully contracted state and its fully elongated state. This goes for any and all exercises, because again, the more you train a muscle not in its full range of motion, the more likely you will experience an injury the second it's taken out of its range of motion upon a load. So for example, again, people train bicep curls like this all the damn time, and then all of a sudden they gotta go grab something outside that causes tension in this stretched position, and snap, That's how you hear of people snapping their bicep just like that, okay? So range of motion is very important. Next up is mobility. Now mobility isn't necessarily the same thing as stretching. Mobility is more so the strengthening of these smaller, highly neglected muscles in your body. So for example, the rotator cuff. Now myself personally, I've been dealing with a bit of rotator cuff issues lately, so I'm stepping up the mobility and working certain exercises that typically hit those neglected muscles. And you know, this goes for things that you're doing with resistance bands, a lot of dynamic stretching, and a lot of strengthening of these muscles. So whereas stretching is more so elongating, relaxing already tight muscles, mobility is on the opposite end, strengthening muscles that help pull you into better posture, help with more mobility, meaning getting deeper in a squat or getting your body in the right position that it needs to be in to execute exercises safely. So mobility is just as important as flexibility, and you might as well combine the two while you're at it. Next up is deep tissue and massaging. Now this is actually very, very overlooked, and the benefits of massage, consistent massages every single week, ideally even twice a week, have been shown in studies to be very beneficial, not just physically but also reduction and tolerance of stress mentally, which goes a long way to translate to the physical realm. So massage is very important, and it's a very great resource. Now a lot of people tend to go and get massages after they've injured themselves and they're already dealing with pain, but it's much better to be using all of these strategies proactively. So in other words, even if you're not feeling much pain from your working out, you should probably take that proactive approach to reduce your stress, eliminate it, eliminate any potential future injuries you may experience. And of course, I'm going to be letting you know of something you can do to actually give kind of yourself a deep tissue massage, as opposed to having to go pay, take the time out to actually go and get one done multiple times a week. The fifth is deloading. So deloading is a very powerful programming technique that basically essentially allows you to reduce volume, reduce workload, and reduce intensity as a result throughout basically a week or even up to 2 weeks of training. The importance of that is that it's going to allow your muscles to actually reduce fatigue and keep your fitness levels high. This obviously in the long term translates to less risk of injury, and also just makes you feel better, more motivated in the gym, and constantly moving forward, avoiding plateaus. Now of course, adequate sleep is one of the biggest factors here, so make sure that you're not just taking a week off, but massive stresses are still being applied to your body in other forms, not just physical. You need to really make sure that you're resting and relaxing, not just in a deload week, but really throughout each week. There should be time to rest, recover, and relax, because if not, that tension's going to build up, and eventually there you go. The sixth and final thing here is intuition. It may seem very obvious, but listen to your body. I can't tell you the amount of times, and I've been responsible for this myself, where something hurts and people try to push past it. It is one of the dumbest things of all time, and it's led to a lot of my friends leading to surgeries that put them out of commission. A lot of people I know just basically never coming back into the game after injuring themselves, and massive loss of progress, which eventually demotivates people. So make sure that if you feel something happening, if you feel your pain and it's more than just soreness, listen to your body, rehab, take the time to rest and recover that area, and then make sure you improve and put something into your schedule. Schedule time to proactively avoid that issue coming back up in the future. So an example of this is for myself. I've dealt with shoulder pains in the past, so what I did was I input certain measures at the time, like daily stretching in certain areas, to make sure that I don't experience that in the future. Now currently I'm starting to feel some pain in one again, so what am I going to do? I'm backing off, I'm going to rest, recover, and make sure that I break down any scar tissue in there, and then going forward I'm going to be implementing some more rehabilitation to proactively make sure that I don't injure this any further and actually prevent it altogether. Alright, so now if you stayed until the end, I just want to say you are the real MVP. Here are a couple tools that I like to use that you can incorporate to help with your recovery, okay? So we've got a foam roller here. Now I don't know if this one is any better than a regular one. I don't think it's too big of a deal, but foam rollers, I think these ones with, you know, the little jagged edges on it are going to help simulate somewhat of a deep tissue massage. Really good for lower body and basically your torso. So foam rolling and doing so as part of your daily routine can be very powerful to break down, especially a lot of common issues that that happen in the lower body. Now, for your upper body and for any other areas that are hard to reach with a foam roller, I simply would suggest something like a lacrosse ball. So this is an Indian rubber ball, and you can get one at, like, I don't know, Walmart, anywhere for like a couple dollars. And this is really good to kind of lean up against the wall, dig in, and also simulate and basically deep tissue massage yourself in any points that you need to prevent injury down the line. Also, these resistance bands, things like tubing or resistance bands like these, are helpful as part of your mobility routine. So again, grabbing a band and doing some exercises that are going to help strengthen certain areas of your body that are often neglected. Very powerful and a very good investment. So those are a couple things. Now, if you want a full body stretch routine, click right there. It's going to take you through one that I do every single day that will help you if you incorporate it. I'm currently working on some mobility and stretching routines for myself. If you'd like to see those, comment below and I'll bring them to you. It does involve these two things here, so just, you know, schedule out and set a timer for 10 to 15 minutes a day to go through some stretches that are going to help with areas that you've been neglecting, whether it's rolling out and strengthening your glutes and your hips, to also maybe rolling out your traps that are very overly tight, people sitting like this, you know, whatever the case may be. Just set a timer, grab the equipment that you need, it's worth the investment, and start doing it. You just need to do it for 30 days straight, and then you'll build the habit of doing so, and your chances of injury will be so much less, and you'll probably be making more progress in the gym as a result of it. So I hope that you guys enjoyed that video and found it informative. If so, leave a comment below as to what else you'd like to see. If you want to see some mobility routines, I'll bring those for you. Don't forget to like the video, share with your friends, and subscribe, because I'm seeing you in the next one, as I always do. Thanks again, everyone. I'm out.